Good afternoon. Welcome to Constant Contacts, getting started with email marketing. My name is Twanda Hill, and today I am going to offer you a live demonstration of how to get started with Constant Contact. Today's workshop is sponsored by Constant Contact and Twanda Hill and Associates. I'm including this information on the slide deck so you'll know how to contact me in the future if you have any questions. There's my contact information. And as I said, Constant Contact is the other sponsor for this event. Most of you know Constant Contact as newsletters and announcements, but they also offer promotions and feedbacks and surveys and events and registrations. Most of you who used the events and registration process to sign up for today's event. So we're going to go ahead and get started, but I want to give a big thank you to David Jones of Guerrilla Graphics for hosting today's event. He was the sponsor and found Two Bellas as a place that we could actually enjoy this lunchtime learn. The items we're going to cover on today's agenda include a live guided demonstration. We're going to review campaign templates that are available. We're going to also talk about creating a campaign, branding your campaign with logos and colors, as well as contacts and how to import and export. I just want to double check my screen and make sure that everything is on point and you are seeing everything I want you to see. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to actually switch now and I'm going to go into my actual demo account, and the account that I'm actually using today is actually from David Jones. And you just do your basic login to your account, and as you can see right here on the left hand side, it gives you a menu of home, campaign, contacts, reporting, and library. And over here, this orange button, we're going to go ahead and click create, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So as I shared with you, you have the opportunity to create other types of campaigns besides newsletters, but today we're just going to focus on sending an email. And the great thing when you get to send an email is that Constant Contact provides you with a host of templates to get you started. One of the things that you do want to keep in mind is that you want your templates to be mobile friendly. And as you can see, there's an icon right here that has a phone, and that is the icon that lets you know that your template is mobile friendly. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot down a little bit and see if I can find a template that will work for us today. And I'm going to select this one here called Product and Promotion. And I'm selecting it. The great thing about any template is you're going to always be able to change the name, change the color, change the design, and adjust it for your business. One of the first things I'd like for you to do whenever you start working on a document, as you saw, I brought up this template. Right here, it gives you the opportunity to customize your campaign. And, excuse me, that's where I'd like you to click on this pencil. And in that pencil, it highlights that box. Take that box there and go ahead and give your campaign an actual name. And I'm going to call this March 31st Guerrilla Graphics Test Template. And I'm going to just come out of the box, and that way it's going to give it the name. So as you can see, I have a name, so it won't just be the date and the default name of Constant Contact. It actually makes sense to me. So as you look at this page, you can see there's a couple items. You have the colors and fonts, and then you have the blocks bar over here on the left-hand side. With the colors and fonts, the great thing is that you're able to take this image and you're able to actually change the font and the colors so that they match your color scheme. And if you don't know what your color fonts are, there's a program called Color Cop. It's an app, and you can download it for free, and that can help you determine what your RGB colors are, your Pantone colors, what your colors are that you use in your business, because you do want to make sure that you're using consistency in the colors that you use. So let's go ahead and get started. This outer background, I'm going to change it. David, as you can see, that's his actual graphic that dropped in for Guerrilla Graphics. So his colors are the purple, the green, and the red. I'm going to start right here with this outer background, and I think I want to change that. I'm going to actually click on more colors, and it gives me the current colors that are there, or I can click right in here and place a new color. And the reason I know my new colors are is because, like I said, I know what the standards are for his business. So let's think about changing this outer border from burgundy. Let's make it purple. And so for purple, his colors are right here. His RGB colors are 140, 65, and 131. And then I'm going to click done. And so that's going to allow me to have that purple border there anytime I want to use this type of template. Anytime, let's look at this inner border here. We can tell that that's gray. So the outer background color is purple. I want to change that outer border from gray, and I believe to let's change it to the green. So the same process I can use to select more colors. Let's go ahead. I know his green colors are 124, 197, and 75. And like I said, I selected, and I went in and I found out his colors before we got started. But I wanted to put those colors in there because as we're working through this template, what you're going to find is that once you have the colors in, it actually does give it to you in your recent color palette. So that's the green, that's the purple, and this red I know is the red because we've used it before. So I want to have those three colors in there. Right over to the right is our subject line and our header box, but I'm going to leave the header for last because I'd like to encourage you to leave your headers for last because your subject lines can become more creative once you've already written down what your content is. So we've gotten our borders changed, but what about our fonts? If you scroll down on colors and fonts, you can see you have the opportunity to change the colors and the fonts as well. So if we wanted to make our heading fonts, instead of having them green, we wanted them to be purple, we can change them to purple. If we wanted them to be red, we can change them to red. You just click and change it. And how that helps is that it allows you to go ahead and set your fonts and your colors up so that every time you design a newsletter, you're not designing from scratch. And actually, I'm going to change the fonts. I think I like to use this Trebuchet font. Okay, and I'm going to change that for my subheadings as well. And you can go ahead and change it here, or you also have the option to the same way with inside of a document where you can highlight the text, you can do that as well. Okay, so one of the things right here, we already have our logo in this logo box, but anytime you have your logo, you should also have the name of your business in writing. And the reason being is that if people are looking at their emails on their mobile devices, they don't always have the download images feature on. So if you don't have text there, they're just going to get this box with an image, a white box with a red X in it. So I'm just going to go below it, and just like in regular typing, okay, it won't let me do it. So I'm going to delete that for a second because I really want to have the box in there. And I'm just going to type in Guerrilla Graphics, and I'm going to actually put the phone number in, which is 206.397.3835. And as I said before, this is a font family, so I could either assign it what I want it to do, or I could actually go here, and if I wanted to highlight it, and if I wanted that to be like the headline text, it would actually change it to that. And I see I'm missing the 206. I've put the phone number in there, but now I want to go back and I want to make sure the logo is in there. So this is a great way. So if you want to insert logos, you go over to the image library and you can see what your library has to offer. Right here, I already have the logo uploaded, so I'm going to just drag it and drop it over. Okay, if I wanted to make any edits on that logo, if I wanted to resize it, I could, or change it. Right here you see there is this circle box, this little wheel. If you click on that down arrow, it gives you a menu with some options. And if I tell you I want to resize it, it allows me to go ahead and edit this image. I can either edit it, or I can give it a caption, give it a name. As you can see, my image does have a name because I always want my image to have a name on it. So make sure you put your image description. Since this is a clickable link, Facebook, David doesn't have a website, but he does have a Facebook page that he uses. So I want to make this link clickable just in case someone clicks on it by accident. I want them to take them to a space where they're going to find out more information about Guerrilla Graphics. So it's facebook.com, and then I'm going to put up there, it helps if I spell it correctly, his actual company name, and I'm going to go insert. So that way, that made that a clickable link. I'm going to go ahead and save it and call that good. Now here is an image that I'm not crazy about using, and actually, you know what, as I look at this purple border, I think maybe a red border might stand out a little bit more. So I think I'm going to go back into this border and choose the red as the border color. And let's see if I like that any better. Oops, so I'm going to go to the outer background color and I'm going to choose the red as the border. Yeah, that gives it, definitely makes it pop, and maybe make this outer border color here the green. What would that look like as the purple? Yeah, that's a little softer for me. Okay, so Guerrilla Graphics, we know that they have a great new location. They're in Columbia City. So what I want to do is I want to change this image. So instead of using this wine, I go right over here to this box, and I'm going to edit this box. So if I wanted to click and move the box, the pencil allows me to edit. This double image here allows me to copy it, or if I wanted to just delete the block. So I'm going to go ahead and edit it. And I'm going to show you a couple things about pictures. So we're going to change this image. Now, when it comes up to change the image, it shows you right here in the URL. This is actually an image that's part of an online image company. So say I wanted to find an image for David to place there. If I were to go to a new tab on my computer, and I just want to make sure we're all seeing the same thing. Perfect. We are. And let's go into images. And let's go copy and print. So as it gives me some image options for copy and print, whether I want to just print, scan, and copy. If this was an actual graphic that I wanted to use or design, copy, and print one, I actually can go to this image and then I can view the image. Okay, and I'm right clicking on that image and I'm copying the image address. And then I'm going to go back to my file here. And so if it's not something that's in my library already, I'm going to go Control V and preview it. And guess what? That would allow me to bring this image in. which my computer seems to not be moving as fast as I want it to. And while it's doing that, I'm going to drop down to the image description. I'm going to call it design, copy, print. And I'm going to go ahead and I want my alignment to be centered. And I'm going to go insert. So now what I've done, and I'm going to save this information. So even though I know I've changed the image, because sometimes when you bring them in as a URL, it doesn't show up. But if I go ahead and do a preview on my screen, you will see that that document, design, copy, and print, is right inside of there. Okay? So let's go back out of there. Now, the one thing that I do want to do is I do want to add an image of David's storefront. So I can have a couple options. I can go to my blocks and I can insert another block, which let's go ahead and insert another image block. I'm going to go ahead and put it right down below. And you see it came up and it gave me, it's just a placeholder. So again, I'm going to go ahead and click into edit this block. And now I'm going to, on that wheel, click the down arrow. I'm going to click change. And when I change, this time, instead of using an image URL, I'm going to actually go to my library. And inside of my library, I already had uploaded this picture of the storefront. It's the new sign on the store. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I keep that centered. And you see here again, if I wanted to put a caption here, I could put a caption that says, our new shop in Columbia City. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click insert. And I'm going to go ahead and save. And so now you can see it has the picture of the new shop. It has information about the actual, there's a caption here. And I could actually, this caption, if I wanted to change the font on that, I can make it larger. I can do it the same way I would actually do any other document, text editing. I can change the color. I can change, right here, I can select on the colors I'd like as well. Okay, and as I'm looking at that, I'm thinking that, you know what, it actually should have a little space in between it. I think it makes it look a little bit more balanced for me. And that's just a personal preference. So now we have the logo, we've dropped in the image, we've added text. I've showed you how to bring in both a graphic two different ways. So we want to keep editing this document because we want to talk about how do you edit and how do you get this newsletter campaign ready so we can push to send. So David has a special that's happening at his store beginning the 1st of April where you're actually getting 10% off of the items listed below. So I'm just going to change that to 10%. And so what I want to do is in all spring products, it's items listed below. So I'm just going to any of the items listed below. Okay, so I can leave that as the same block, or guess what? I know that I want to actually put the ad in. So let's go ahead and add an image. And we can insert an image, and it's going to give me some options. Well, right now, I want to pretend like I don't see the file I need, and I'm going to upload a file. So I'm going to upload this file directly from my computer. And you can do it from your social networks. There's also stock images where they do offer some free events, free images that you can utilize. If you're borrowing somebody else's image, one of the things that you do want to remember is to actually give them credit. So I could actually browse my computer just like here and go to the space where it's located. But because I just downloaded the file, it's actually here on my desktop, and I'm just going to drag it and drop it in there. And so the name of the file is April Ad, and I'm going to go April Ad 10%. Okay, so it has a name. I'm going to click on the upload the files button, and there we have it. It's uploading. Once it's done, it tells me success, you've uploaded, is complete, and I'm going to click done. So now I'm going to actually insert that ad right here. And guess what? The 10% off of any items listed below, since it's already there, I'm going to go ahead and delete that text. And I'm just backspacing on my keyboard like you would normally if you were working with any text. Okay, I'm going to save it. Now, do I want the 10% off to be a little larger? Or maybe what I want to say, let people know it's valid April 1st through 30th. And so I'm going to actually highlight that text, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, because what I really want people to focus on is the 10% off and not so much the dates. Okay. So one of the cool things that you should think about is that anytime that you are creating a campaign, you want to have a call to action. So let's say we have here, don't miss this sale, and give readers more specific information. So I could tell them whatever information I want to tell them. Offer is valid until April 30th. They can tell a friend. You have different options if you want to give them some text. What you need to remember is that with your email, you really want your most pertinent information in the top third of your email, because if people may not necessarily read to the bottom. But if I were to get this email and see this screen and get 10% off, I would keep scrolling to find out what it is. And actually, I'm going to take this logo and I'm going to resize it just a little bit. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And that's going to increase how everything fits on the page. And that way, because I just want to make sure that people are seeing the top information that I am sharing. And remember to save. Here's another save key. You always want to make sure you're saving your information. Okay, so we have put in his information. We have the ad, and guess what? The Shop Now button. Well, that button, we have the option of changing the color on that button if we like to, but we can take this button and link it to something. What we do know is that if I send you something by email and you get it during off hours, if I can still go to your site and purchase something or start an order, that's a great way to do it. So if it was an event you were working on, you can change that to say register now. It can say purchase today, and you can make it a little wider if you had to. You could adjust it, okay? And let's see, because I'm trying to do it, it won't do it. It's widening the button, but I wanted to actually see what happens if I make the text a little larger. Sometimes inside of these fonts, they actually, there's some restrictions within the actual table that was used to create that font. And so I would actually just probably go ahead and put it on 2 lines, purchase today. And if I wanted to, within this button, change the text button from green to red. Oh, that gave me the outer one. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this one does it. Nope, it doesn't. Let's undo that. I'm going to go ahead and save it. If I want to change the color of the button, I can actually go back to my color and fonts and button background right here, change that button background to red. And then I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay, so we have actually changed the color. We've edited the lines. Okay, so right down here below is the company name, address, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Once you fill that in, it's usually, or if you fill it in the beginning, it will actually stick from template to template. So Guerrilla Graphics and 4547 Rainier Avenue South in Seattle, 98118. Okay, so that information is there. If I wanted to, you see it's coming up still as the Georgia text. I can go in and change it to whatever I like. I can make it a little larger. I can change the colors. Now right below that box, you're going to see this is a social media, and these are your social media pages. So what I recommend, if you don't have all of these different media platforms, go ahead and delete them. So click on, once you're inside this table, you'll see that wheel again. Click on the down arrow, click on delete, delete, and delete. Now when I get to the Facebook one, I'm going to actually click on it and I'm going to go change, because what I want to do is I want to make it larger since it's only one, but I want to make sure that the link takes it to my Facebook page. So, and it's facebook.com/Guerrilla Graphics. Okay, and then insert. So that makes that piece live. As you can see down below, one of the things that's a great feature of Constant Contact is that it does have the one button, unsubscribe. So if there was someone who did not want to be a part of, who did not longer wanted to receive your emails, you could go in, they could actually go in and hit unsubscribe with one stop, and they'll be removed from your database, which is great because you don't want to be in violation of the spam laws. And then also if somebody wanted to forward this email. So we've pretty much completed this email, and I just want to show you some other features that are available. Because this email is about a sale, I'm going to go ahead into and show you a couple other options you can do. So right here they have a pre-header text. Normally when you get a email, you have the subject line to entice people to read it, and if you open it on a mobile device, it'll give you a pre-header text. So this is where you have the option to insert something, and if you don't have something inserted, it's going to take the first line, it's going to show the first line of the actual text you have in your document. So, but instead of having pre-header text here, I actually want people to forward this information. So I want them to forward this to a friend. So I'm going to go, did you see I went back over here to my insert and I came down my list and I'm going to forward it to a friend. And inside of forward to a friend, it gives me many different options. I can have it in this gray background. I could have it in a green, forward to this email to a friend. We can do it in green stripes. So it gives you a couple different options for getting this message out to a friend or a colleague. So I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to click insert. I'm going to actually push it to the left, and I'm going to actually take the red background out of here, and I'm going to actually just make that background white. Because I think, okay, do I want that to jump out? No, that doesn't look that great. So let's, so I think what I'll do is let's go ahead and delete that block. You see that? That was very simple, very easy. So I didn't like the white sticking through, so I decided let's go right into my header box, and I'm going to actually do the same thing. I'm going to forward it to a friend. I'm going to leave it as that gray one. I'm going to insert it. I'm actually going to put it to the left. Let's see if it'll go to the left. Okay, and then I'm going to save. Because I want people to get in the habit of forwarding my information to a friend. So we have a completed email that we've designed in just a few minutes. So let's go up to the header options. If we click on this pencil, it will allow us to get into the header options. So now here you can actually put in some text. You don't want to miss the sale. That's a great enticing subject line. 10% off. Oops, let's use 10% off in April. Shop today. Okay, so now I'm still giving them 2 lines of text. The other thing I want you to notice is that there is a social share bar, and I'm going to click on that. And the reason I do that is because when I click OK, when I send out this email to the different clients, they're going to see that social share button. And a lot of times I think people believe that that social share button is how someone would actually attach to your Facebook, but it's not. So once you send me this email, if I want to connect and forward this email to my sphere influence on Facebook, I just click on that Facebook key and it'll take it straight to my Facebook page, my Twitter page, my LinkedIn page, and then the plus sign here is so if it's not one of these top 3 and it's one of the other social media platforms, it will allow me to take it there. So I really wanted you to see those pieces. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save, and then we can take a quick preview of our document. And one of the things I want you to be conscious of is that before you send out any items, you do want to make sure that you do send a preview. And I'm going to go ahead and send this preview to myself. And you can send up to 5 people. And I could write a note for you for review. Need back ASAP. Okay? And then you go ahead and you send a test. So this test will come to you, and once you get your test, a couple of things you want to do. You want to be able to look at it on your own email, and as well as you want to look at it on your desktop, your mobile device, to see how it looks on both of them. And then you're also going to want to make sure that if you have any links inside of here, that the links and stuff, they actually are enabled. So my purchase today, you notice it doesn't have a link on it, but I'm actually going to put my my web page on there just to show you that it can be done and it can be linked to something. So I'm going to highlight purchase today. I'm going to click on this link, insert a link, and then it's going to ask me, do I want it to be a web address? Do I want it to be an email? And actually, I can make this an email since David's website is under construction, and it can go directly to his email. Or let's see, I'm going to leave it as a web address, and I'm going to type in my address here. Okay, and I'm noticing that it's not displaying. I don't want it to just be the P. I want it to say purchase today. So I'm going to go ahead and retype that, and you'll notice when I go insert, then I'm just going to delete the one that did not highlight with me, and I'm going to save it. And I can tell you when I look at this in preview mode, you'll be able to see that that is now hyperlinked. And if I click on it, it'll take me straight to my website. Okay, so that's one thing for you to remember. Okay, so now that we're waiting for the draft to come to us, let's talk about one other thing. So as you're inserting graphics, know that besides inserting images, you can also insert a video link. You can do a document link. So say you have a very long article and you don't want to post the whole article. You can upload the article as a PDF file and then link the rest of the story to that article, or you can link it to a YouTube video. So there's more than just images that you can insert. Okay. Okay, so now that we've gotten the template done, let's look back here on our left-hand side and let's go to contacts. And we want to be able to upload contacts. And so, as you can see, there's a couple lists. The general list is what we were working on. When we did, I'm going to go ahead and delete this March 23rd one because I want to re-upload it. So I'm just going to click on it and hit delete. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to show you what that looks like. And these were clients that we were all attendees in the same class together. So let's go add contacts. So you have the option. I can type in one contact, I can type in or paste multiple contacts, or I can upload them from a file. And so I'm going to choose to upload them from a file, and I'm going to choose the actual file. And let's see if I remember where this file is. I think it's on my desktop, which has a ton of stuff. So let's just sort it by name. And let's see if I have the March 23rd. No, I don't see them there. Okay, so I know exactly where to go to look for this file. So I'm going to take a second and I'm going to do that. Let's see, it was March 23rd. Getting started. So here's the file right here. I'm going to select open. And you'll notice when I choose the file, it gives it to me in that Excel format. So I had a couple columns that I don't need. So registration status, I'm going to select do not import. The first name, the last name, the email, I want those to all register as work emails. The companies, I'm going to actually put those down as work numbers, even though some of them may be mobile. And then I'm going to go do not import for the zip. Select the field over here, do not import. And now that I've told you that, I'm going to go ahead and go next. And so once I've gone next, it gives me the option to add those names to one of the files I already have or to create a new list. And I'm going to create a new list and I'm going to call it March 23rd attendees. And I'm going to go create. Okay, and then I'm going to click on this orange button and hit upload, and that will start to swirl and it will bring in that list. Now mind you, it tells me import complete. There were 3 contacts added, 16 were updated, and 1 contact could not be added because they previously unsubscribed. That's wonderful. I know somebody unsubscribed, so even if I try to re-add them, it's not going to allow me to do so. So I just wanted you to look and see that. Okay? So that's how you actually add your contacts. So now that we know that we have completed the email, we know the contacts we want to send it to, we're going to actually go back to that campaign. And on our home page, it's going to list the campaign. So I call this March 31 Guerrilla Graphics Test. So since I've already, pretend like I've already reviewed the draft of it and it looks good to go, I'm going to actually go Actions and I'm going to go Schedule. And the cool thing is that now I can go ahead and schedule that email. I can, and it says, who am I sending it to? Well, let's go look at the list. So here's a thumbnail of the email that I'm sending, and then I'm going to click on this plus button, and I'm going to send it to the March 23rd attendee list. But I don't really want to resend it to them. So let's say if I add a contact. So I'm going to call this contact Twanda Hill. I'm going to send it to me. And it says, we'll name this set of contacts test sample. Okay? And I'm going to go save. So now this email is actually a little bit closer to sending. And so it has my subject line. It tells people who it's from, the name, what the subject is, And I get a couple options. I can either select the best time, and this is based on some industry practices and standards amongst the millions of customers that Constant Contact has, as well as some of your best times. But because they're very new at starting out, I'm going to actually click Send Now. You also have an option for Schedule for Later. So say you're going to be out of town, or you've done this blast early and you don't want people to get it until the 1st, you could actually reschedule it. So let's go ahead and schedule it for later. Let's schedule it for tomorrow. The 1st, we can go at 7 a.m. Okay? And now it's ready to schedule. So we're going to go ahead and click on Schedule. So now that we've scheduled it, guess what? We could click I'm done. If this is an email that you know that you're going to reuse, I would go ahead and maybe, or you're going to want to save this and print it out for your staff to know what specials are going on. You can download it. You can print it. It's not going to print in the same sizing as the actual e-blast, but at least it'll give you the copy. That's one of the features that Constant Contact is working on. But here's the piece that I really like. So after I've scheduled this to be sent, I can actually schedule postings on my social media. Because what we know is that email and social media combined work the best. So here is, I have attached to the Guerrilla Graphics account, their Facebook account. But say I wanted to attach it to my account, my page. I can actually go to social accounts and connect an account, and say I wanted to connect it to my Facebook account. It will actually redirect it and pull up my account and give me different places that I have a choice to add. So I could tell it I wanted to go to my actual business page account. Okay? But I'm not going to save it there. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. I just wanted you to see that. One of the other great features is that it automatically defaults and gives you 3 times that it's going to post to your social media for you. And so it has a simple saying on each of them, and it has a date and a time. So you have a couple options. You can ask for a new suggestion in case you missed it. And guess what? When I did that, it gave me a new graphic as well. Perfect. I love that. So tomorrow morning after my email goes out, this is going to post to my Facebook page. The information that's in my campaign is good for the whole month of April. What we know about social media is people only see what they see when they're on it. So if I'm having a sale and I send you the information and you don't happen to see it on the 1st, guess what? I can actually still send you that same blast on the 5th, and this time is scheduled at 11 o'clock. But right here is a calendar where I can actually pick the dates and times that I can add when I want you to receive it. But I'm okay with having you check this out, but this little graphic doesn't work for me. So I'm going to click on this image icon, and that's going to bring me up to my library. And guess what? Maybe let's use the logo, the company logo instead. So I have the option of changing the image, changing the wording, because people will think there may be different posts with new information if you kind of mix it up a little bit. Okay, and this one here, this third one, I'm just going to go ahead and remove it. And then after that's done, you just can go schedule, and it's completely done. But like I said, since this was a test one, I don't want to send it out to David's Facebook page. I don't want the Guerrilla Graphics page to be inundated. And the same here with this email, I'm just going to go ahead and unschedule it. So, but I wanted you to see how to actually set up an email, change it, change the fonts, change the colors, add images, change your fonts. I talked about the headers, how to add the social share bar so that people can share your information. You can edit a block of text, You can save and continue, select recipients, show the simple share toolbar. So we went over quite a bit of information today. So hopefully this is enough information to at least get you started. And please note that if you do have any questions about your Constant Contact and you're looking to get started, please give me a call, or I'm actually going to go back to, let's see if I can go back to this page. I know one of the things that I was asked about was the cost of it. And just so you know, Constant Contact is really quite reasonable in price. The email, which allows you to send out the basic campaigns, and so using the social shares and the contact management and the libraries, it starts out at only $20 per month. And that allows you to send out an unlimited amount of emails each month. If you think that you're going to do more, the full toolkit, including with the Plus campaigns, that's what allows you to do autoresponders, and it allows you to do events and registrations, online surveys, and things like that. And for 500 contacts or less, that one is only $45 a month. So two great options that are very affordable for new businesses and small businesses starting out. So again, I want to thank you for sharing your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you on a future workshop or on a future webinar. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day.